Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Encourage Mindset, a podcast that's really about transforming yourself into becoming your better self. But not importantly, that we're going to talk about most importantly starting fresh, changing habits, offering pieces of advice, and all of that today is going to come from Scott Zimmerman, and he's going to talk about long-term planning as an essential habit, and that's going to also allow you to start fresh. And so I'm going to let Scott take the wheel and drive this conversation today. But before I do, why doesn't Scott welcome into the show? So most importantly, thank you for being here. But why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are?
Okay. Thanks for having me, Ethan. And I've listened to your shows, and it's really positive, and I just think you do a really good job. But I'm Scott Zimmerman, in Los Angeles, California, and I'm actually more than my business. I'm a father, husband, actually a new grandfather. I'm an entrepreneur, but my business has been for the last 35 years. I have an insurance brokerage in LA, and we specialize in employee benefits, life insurance, long-term care insurance. You're too young for that, but these are really important things, and that's what we do. Just all day long, because those type of things.
So
So
what
yeah,
got you into that, Scott? I mean, most people probably don't have a passion for that. Most people view themselves as, I want to be an NBA athlete or a PGA golfer. So what got you into that?
that's a good question. Originally how I got started, my family were in the trade business. My dad was a construction, and my mom just had just a regular job working payroll. Not a lot of money, but when I was 19, I got my very first car. My dad went and co-signed for it, and it wasn't anything major of a car back then. But I remember when I was done thinking, if something happens to me, I don't know where I got this from, but something happens to me, my parents should be stuck with this car payment. How are they ever going to pay for this? And it was a great car. I'm going to tell you, the car, you're so young, you're not even going to know what it was. It was cool for about 1 week, and that's when I bought it. It was a Suzuki Samurai. This is like this horrible car. But anyway, he co-signed for it. And a friend of mine, when I was in college, he was an insurance agent, and I went to him. I said, maybe I should get a life insurance policy in case something happens to me. My parents would have this money to take over the car. I bought a really small policy, and that year I was in college, and I took a finance course, and it was courses teaching about retirement planning. So I started the same guy I went to. He was my age. I bought an IRA, putting away a small amount of money. Maybe it was $25 a month back in the day. But he said, "Hey, man, you're in school. You obviously believe in what I do. You should come and check this out." And his father ran the agency. It was straight commission. I got hired, and that's how I got started. And I didn't know what I was going to do.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, and I've been doing it ever since. And I will say, it took me many years to figure it out. It took me 3 or 4 when I started to figure it out. It was really hard to start, but it took me a while, and I stuck with it, and pretty good.
Yeah. So you also said in your intro that you're a father. It sounds like you're an entrepreneur. So it's awesome that you are those things. So congratulations to you because, most importantly, I think sometimes people forget about how important those roles can be. So congratulations to that. But what has been diving into the entrepreneur side, some of the things you've learned so far as being an entrepreneur? And I don't know the exact amount of years, but it sounds like to me you've been an entrepreneur for about 25 years or so.
35.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been self-employed for 35 years, right? So I would say that. I guess your question is what lessons I've learned, or what good
Yeah.
kind
What
of
could you share
advice.
with the audience that also wants to be an entrepreneur? Like, what are some lessons that you've learned?
I think some of the most important lessons I've learned are, um, don't be the people or the person that just chases shiny objects. As in today's times, I think it's so simple. I do it too, just say no. To chase the shiny object, the new thing, the new hot thing where you're going to make a fortune. I feel, being an entrepreneur, whatever you're going to go into, you really got to go in full bore and not spread yourself thin. Stick with something that you really believe in. I do believe you can take chances with, some of these things that people are doing nowadays that weren't in the day, but do your research before you go all in. There's a lot of people trying to sell things and programs and whatnot, and that's what they do, they sell programs. So I guess my say it again is study, look, research before you dive in.
Yeah, and it sounds like you did that, going through your experience. You went and asked questions and you wanted to learn from this guy, and then you're thrown into the field and challenged. So it sounds like you did your fair share of that. What was, you know, you said basically in that sentence, you have to have passion in what you do. So what brings you passion in what you do?
What brings me I have more passion today than I ever have before. So when I got started, I was super young. And I was about, how am I going to pay my bills and make money? That's what my passion was, like. Who am I going to sell an insurance policy to? Today, I would say the last 15 plus years, it's more of who can I help? I get paid anyway. How can my passion is doing the right thing for every referral I get, or every person I help. And, again, I help people protect their loved ones. Like if you're married, you have children, with a business partner, you're going to buy my insurance products, to protect people you love. So for me, that's my passion, is always doing the right thing, helping people protect their loved ones.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome because that's a good cause that I feel like every service company should have and really uphold. Um, talking in the shifting gears of a mindset, what got you to where you are today in the sense of like realizing that this money what isn't the main driver, realizing that being a father is important, realizing now that being a grandfather is important to you? What got you to finally be like, money aside, life is life. I should care about these things instead.
I'm old, like, so my age, not that I'm old by any means, but I'm 57. I've seen a lot of things in my career, and striving for money is great, and being successful, which is also, I think, really important. But when it comes down to it, you have a family, you have people you love. That's what things could be taken away from you really quick, and things just happen in life. And I just believe, like, they're never going to think, if something were to happen to my family or anybody's family, that someone is really working really hard. My dad was the hardest working person. He was never home for me during he missed my sporting events because he worked so much. I feel like that's when I realized, like, life is short. People and your family are the most important things. Love, not how hard you work or
Yeah,
trying to
no,
what you're trying to accomplish. Is that what
yeah,
you're asking?
yeah. I really like that you brought that up because that's something. I was on a walk the other day with my fiance, and I was like, I got absolutely blessed. I got my dad being my basketball coach. My dad was going to the games. My dad was this. And you hear some stories where, parents aren't showing up because they can't, or they got to work on the weekends, or, they try to do what they can, right? Or they're bringing their laptop to the games and they're more focused on their laptop. And it's like, that's unfortunate because, the kids see that and they'll get upset and frustrated, but they probably won't vocalize that because they understand what the parents trying to do for them. But at the same time, I mean, I just want to make sure one day I can be a dad that's fully involved and fully engaged. But when you realized all those things, and you've said you've seen all these stories throughout your career, what are some of these stories that you noticed that like have helped make you become a better person?
I have so many. I'll tell you something that just happened a week ago. Um, it's crazy, but I mean, I've had so many people that I've helped. I've been doing it a long time, right? So my products have been helpful to help families continue on and whatnot. But I don't know where I'm going with this, but literally a week ago, a friend of mine, it was a week ago today, 6/18, like, my friend texted me, "Hey, our high school reunion's coming up in March." It wasn't me, it was like 4 or 5 of us in this room. And everybody's excited. Yeah, man, it's gonna be cool. And all that, we're right back and forth. But literally 2.5 hours later, he died. He got in a car accident and died. I think he had a heart attack and died. That's what they're saying. But it's not that he passed away. He was working so hard. And he's like, I'm retiring. He was a policeman for it's coming up on 30 years. I think it was March or June he was retiring. Can't wait to just retire. He works weekends. He does side hustles for, celebrities or whatnot. But that type of thing that happens to people, he missed so many. He told me I missed so many of my kids' events because he had to work, and now he's getting ready to retire, and it's done. You know what I mean? So it makes me realize that those are just those little things that happen in life. You just don't know. So why wouldn't you enjoy today, not wait for tomorrow?
Yeah,
You know?
and that leads into, like we've talked about unexpected events. So, and this will be a great question for you to answer. So, like, how can I and other people listening ensure that their family's financially protected in that case of an unexpected event?
Yeah, I mean, there's different ways to do it. I would just say this, in what I do, like there's so many things that people can do that I can talk about that, not like I'm trying to sell anything, but
Yeah.
if you have a family, you have children, you want to have a living trust. You have assets, you want to have an umbrella policy to protect in case you're ever sued. But the things I do, it's a disability insurance if you become sick or hurt and can't work. A disability insurance replaces your income.
Yeah.
But life insurance is super important. A lot of people put it off because they think they can't get it or it's too expensive or my cholesterol is high. I'm not going to be. It's so simple to get a life insurance policy. It's super inexpensive. Someone in their 30s that has a family, I'm totally making up numbers, but I'm pretty going to be pretty close. They can get $1 million of coverage for $30 a month or something like that. Like
Mhm.
2 cups of coffee a week will pay for their insurance policy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just simple to do, and people don't do it. It's just it really. I think one thing that really irks me, Ethan, is like when I see the on social media the GoFundMe pages for family members that have put together a GoFundMe page to help my this person passed away. They have kids and hospital bills and things that they could have taken that they need help with. They could have easily this person, and they didn't mean to do it, but they could have easily got an insurance policy, protect their loved ones. Stuff happens in life, so and there's so many different types of policies. I don't want to go and get into the weeds, but it's inexpensive. You can easily anybody can do it and protect their loved ones. And most importantly, just what I find is you get peace of mind knowing that something happened. It doesn't keep you up. I stay up at night thinking like, everything covered? Is everything okay? I mean, at that age, my friend just passed away, and I've had other friends. Things happen. Like when you get to a certain age, you start thinking about those things. But it's very simple planning you can do.
Why
Lots
do
of
you
different things, but go ahead.
why do you think people choose to not do it? Is it because they view the monthly cost as just ridiculous and they don't want to pay that? Or is it because they just generally don't get the education?
I think you're right on there. There's different ways, but because insurance doesn't have to be expensive, but I think people think it is expensive. Um, they think if they've had some health issues, they can't get it, which they can. They think it's hard. Some people just don't think about it, right? Because you're like enjoying life. It's like not everybody thinks that way. I think a lot of people just don't think about it. A lot of people think they're going to live forever, and I hope we all do. I hope I go to 100 and I'm healthy, and I hope you do too. But you never know, right? So these type of things cover the what ifs in life, like you know, what if
Yeah.
this happens? What if that?
Yeah, so exactly. No, I totally agree. And
Yeah.
I think one of the things that you're touching on there is, life is full of opportunities that, obviously you want to take advantage of opportunities, but sometimes there's moments in your life where you're taking a risk or you're already involved in a risk and you just, probably should be backtracking and use long-term planning to understand, what you got going on. So like how you lay in bed at night and think about this stuff, there's so many times where all of us people are just sitting on our phones scrolling through social media when we could set aside that 20 minutes to an hour and think about what you do while you're sleeping. Hey, do I have this planned? Hey, do I have this planned? Do you think that's good ideas, or what else do you think people should be doing to
Yeah,
be more conscious about this?
I think meeting with a good planner or there's things online that you can do just that you set things up for that. And it's not everything is right for everybody. Not everybody needs everything. Some people are single and some people don't need things. But even if you're single, you should be thinking like what simple things, the what ifs. So putting together a planner, making down notes, your life wishes, talking to smart people. I mean, there's tons of stuff on YouTube people can learn, and you're right, it does not take a lot of time. It really doesn't. I feel though, dealing with the right person or people, that is important. You don't want to just do the first thing you see. You should do some research and know what you're getting into. There's lots of people that try and sell different things, and it's like there's not one thing that's right for everybody. There's like, I'm going to make an example, and I don't want me to only talk about insurance, but just my life. But great companies. I'm not poo-pooing any companies, but if you go to State Farm, are they the best car insurance? I don't sell car insurance. Are they the best car insurance, or should you look maybe at your age and your car? Maybe Farmers Insurance is better. Maybe Allstate. But sometimes you just kind of want to look around and make sure you're doing the right thing. It's not always about money, but having the right type of things for whatever you need, whether
Yeah.
it's a living trust or a will, or I mean, the list can go on and on, right? Like who's the best internet? I don't go too deep into things. I don't research everything, but the
Yeah.
important things I think you should.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I appreciate all those genuine, honest answers. And I honestly want to switch gears a little bit to more of your mindsets about being an entrepreneur. So, what advice would you give to somebody that wants to start out and create a business?
It's a really good question. I'm gonna give two thoughts I have on it. One is if you're really young, like if you're young, you're 18. I mean, young to me is all relevant, whatever, but to each person. But I think it's okay to try different things and screw up. I think that's when you really learn. Maybe you'll get lucky and you'll get lucky in the very beginning. But as an entrepreneur, I think it's okay to like take some chances. This is the time you can recover. You don't have to go deep and go get crazy, but I think that's really important. And I have a stepson, and we talk about it all the time. Like Nico, I mean, he's 19. Like this is the time you should be taking chances. Figure out what you want to do in life, and it's a great time to take those chances and figure your life out. So
Mhm.
that's one thought I have. And the other thought, as far as an entrepreneur, again, is I think it's really important is to believe in whatever you're doing, because when you believe in it, it just people can read it, they feel it, and they want to do business with people that just really believe in what they do. Um, and at the same time, put effort into whatever you're doing. It's like I feel like with Amazon, it's like everybody's get rich quick now. I'm gonna buy this. It's gonna be delivered to my house tomorrow. It's okay for it to take a little time. Figure your stuff out. Try different things in your own business, and try not give up right away. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people give up right away too, because when it gets hard and difficult, the people that kind of stick with it and work through it seem to kind of shine at the end a lot of the time, most of the time.
So, how did you handle setback and failures? And how can you relate some of those experiences to the audience listening?
I've had so many. I got to tell you, even as a no, I really have. It's unbelievable. But because I took risks without without doing what I'm saying that you should do. This is what I'm telling you. I know one of my lessons back in 2007, a long time ago. But I invested in all this real estate. I was killing it. I took my money. I said I'm going to do something different, and I did all research, but not really good research, and invested my proceeds in this more real estate, which was the worst investment because I didn't really do the due diligence. I didn't know what I was doing. I kind of did it half-assed, just kind of not the way I should. I thought of everything I'm doing. Man, I'm making money like constantly,
Yeah.
and I lost it all plus because I didn't do the due diligence and the research that I'm saying that people should do. Like know what you're getting yourself into, know what you're doing. I just took a lot of dumb risks,
Yeah.
uncalculated. Yeah,
Hey, it happens to the best of us, and
it's a little bit.
you,
Yeah,
you learn your lessons, and I'm sure you learned your lesson there, and I'm sure anyone listening has learned some of the lessons that they've went through for their experiences. When it comes to questions that make you think on a deeper level as an entrepreneur or really challenge you, this is such a basic question, but as an entrepreneur, it's so fundamental. Is how do you stay motivated? Because there's going to be days where you just don't there's going to be days when I want to come into work and I just don't want to be here. But as an entrepreneur, you got to hold yourself accountable. So how do you find yourself to motivate yourself on a deeper level when you don't want to?
I mean, I think everybody's different, but I'll tell you how I do it. I have a lot of people that work with. I have a business partner. We have a lot of people outside my office that they count on us, and their family. They've been here. Most of them, I shouldn't say all. Most of them been here a really long time. So I feel obligated. I have a lot of families that rely on us. So it makes me really motivated too, because I love these people. I want to take care of them. But really, what really motivates me, it may come across strange, but I want to I want to I want to be the best person I possibly can. And when it comes to business, I want to leave it all on the table. Meaning, I want to just as an insurance, owning an insurance agency. I personally want to be the best insurance man around. I just want to. I don't want to. For me, it was so important to me to when my time comes, I'll be so long time away. And I went all in myself, and I was the very best I could possibly be. That kind of motivates me every single day because I don't feel I'm there. I got a long way to go, and it just motivates me to stay current and go for things that I normally don't go for, and take chances, good calculated chances, and just be the best person I possibly can.
Yeah.
It's an internal thing it's my own motivation, right?
Yeah, that's a huge motivator. That's kind of one of mine too in the space of marketing. But building, I always think building authentic relationships is key. And, that's going to, generate more business. It's going to allow you to grow as a person. There's so many things to creating authentic relationships. And the biggest thing, Scott, and I know it's in probably your business, it is a huge deal to create these authentic relationships. Maybe if you could share some tips on how you create those, or maybe, some things you've learned how to improve to be more of an authentic creator. I would love to learn that from you.
Yeah, I would love it. I'll tell you, I think I'm really good at building relationships, but I really learned this. My business partner, Marty, I just want to give him kudos. Taught this to me 25 plus years ago on how he did it. He's a little older than I am, but he's really one of the best I know. But what we're always, him and I, and there's a lot of people that do this. I'm generally interested in what can I do for you. I'm always thinking about you, and I always want to help other people. It just really comes back. It's not about what can you do for me. It's what can I do for you, whether it be introductions or help or referrals or whatnot. So if I have that's one thing I do. I always show up. I always try and do again. I think my relationships are so good because show up, I do what I say I'm going to do. I over deliver. I'm not perfect by any means, but I stay in contact with my we call them centers of influence. Those are my the people that kind of we refer back and forth to each other. I've been doing it a long time. I got a good reputation because I do those things. I try and be really authentic, real as can be all the time. No phoniness. I think those things help. I mean, I can go on and on, but those are just really, I think, important things. Show up in time, say please and thank you, do what you say you're going to do, over deliver, think about the other person more than yourself, and I think goes a long way.
Absolutely. No, those are great points and truly remarkable things that people do, but often forget. And most importantly, I always love leaving the show with something that's wise that either you picked up from a book, a podcast, you learned from somebody else, maybe it was a mentor of yours that helped you become who you are. But I would love to hear something powerful that you want to walk away with the audience knowing and probably in awe. So I will let the floor be yours, Scott.
Okay, I read a lot. I'm not sure what I'm going to come up with because I'm just going to talk freely. It's probably what I already said, but probably what I already said. If you are true to yourself and you think of others and you do the right thing always, you don't worry about commissions. You worry about doing those things I'm saying. Life tends to treat you really, really good because you're doing the right thing. When in the past I've looked at commissions and those different things, people have been read it. They know people know what's real and what's not. And I think it would fast track people just to just think that way. In the world we live in, with everybody's a get rich quick and fast tracked everything, that doesn't really fast track because it kind of ruins things. Being authentic and real is the way to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being on today's show. Really got to learn a lot from you and your mindset, but also more about entrepreneurship. And if you're interested, listeners, in talking about life insurance or long term planning, I think Scott sounds like the guy to be.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.